What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Boat Talks with Big Jim podcast. Before we get started, please be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Boat Talks with Big Jim podcast, Twitter at BTBJ underscore pod. Go buy us a beer. That's one of our new features that we have right now. If you go to our Flow page, flow.page /BTBW, BTBJ, excuse me, BTWBJ. Wow. You can go buy us a beer and we'll give you a shout out on the next episode.
Yeah. Listen, it ain't gonna take much to pick up your chubby little finger and push like
That's all you got to
or
do.
scroll and watch. A lot of you lazy fucks are laying down in bed anyway. So, you know what? Just sit back, pass on the information, let the other lazy fucks you guys know about us, and we'll definitely offend them as well.
Yeah, we'll offend them. We'll greet them. We'll thank them for buying us beer and or food, and we'll keep the show on the road.
Yes, sir.
So now we are going to talk about a very interesting and crazy story, one that not a whole lot of people know about, and one that is actually, I would say, shadowed over a very, very big name. And that name is Lacey Peterson. However, that is not the story we are going to talk about today. So, Big Jim, are you ready?
IR.
All right, let's get started.
Hola.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bull Talk with Big Jim podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance. On the crotch.
Oh my
Right
lord.
there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great cake parties. You know, if I'm gonna believe anybody's bullshit, I'm gonna believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
I would say close to home for some of the Bay Area folks, and it's close to home for some of the minorities, especially with everything that's going on in the world today.
I fall in both them categories.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. We are going to talk about the story of Evelyn Hernandez.
Never
Now-
heard of her.
And that's why we're going to talk about it, because it's messed up that so many people know about one person and not know about her. And I'll get to that. So here we go. This is the gist of it. In 2002, a missing persons case shortly turned into a homicide. The missing person was a 24-year-old, 9 months pregnant, and lived in Northern California. Do you have an idea of who I'm talking about? Not yet.
Oh, the other person?
Who does it
Lacey
sound like?
Peterson. Yeah, Lacey
Exactly.
Peterson. Yeah, I remember
And that's
that.
not who we're talking about today. No.
Okay.
But it's a very similar story to Lacey Peterson's. Both women were pregnant. Both women were taken from their home, so to speak, quote unquote. And both murders for some time were unsolved until obviously Scott Peterson was arrested, the husband of Lacey Peterson, and was found guilty and now serving life in San Quentin, right across the bay behind me.
Mhm.
And this murder, however, of Evelyn Hernandez is still unsolved. Her 5-year-old son, Alex, is still not found. And nothing has really been reported about this woman.
Okay. Is she
So-
from Mexican?
She's-
Cuban?
She's Salvadorian.
Oh man.
Yeah, Salvadorian. And that's why I want to talk about this, because there's a lot of inequality going on lately. There's whether, you look at it from a political standpoint, ethical standpoint, moral standpoint, there's a lot of shit that's going on lately, and this is one of them that is still in the back burner of my mind, because no one's really looked into it. I've heard a few podcasts talk about this. I've heard a few people even know about this case, and I just found out, thanks to Amanda from Drinking the Kool-Aid podcast that Evelyn Hernandez is not the only woman of a minority descent who went missing within the same time period of Lacey Peterson. There were 6 other women with very similar stories prior to Lacey Peterson's story coming out.
All in the Bay Area or
All in
Northern
the Bay
California?
Area. Yep.
Was it part of the Golden State serial killer crap?
I don't know. That's the thing. And when I was talking to her, to Amanda, she was only able to get what they got because they did that review of the Lacey Peterson documentary on their Patreon. Which, by the way, if anyone hasn't listened to Drinking the Kool-Aid podcast, I highly suggest doing that as well. Amanda and Cassie are really cool, and they'll be on next week. So get ready for that Halloween special.
Yes.
That
was a fun show.
That was a fun show. Yeah, that was a very fun show.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an idea for a part 2, maybe.
Well, I think we'll be doing more collaborations as time goes on.
All right, so let's get to this story. May 1st, 2002, in San Francisco, California. Now, again, this is about 6-7 months before Lacey Peterson's disappearance, after the day after Christmas. Evelyn Hernandez was 24 years old, 9 months pregnant, and she had 2 kids. One was her 5-year-old Alex, and pregnant with her second child, Fernando. 9 months pregnant she was. The last time people saw her was on that day after she had picked up her 5-year-old from Buena Vista Elementary in the Mission District of San Francisco. She spoke to her sisters, one who lived in Virginia and one who actually lived locally in the Bay Area as well, discussing about her baby shower. Again, this was the last time anyone had spoken to her and seen her. The teacher saw her take Alex home from school, and then last time her sisters specifically heard from her. May 7th, 6 days later, this was her due date, by the way. Her due date was May 7th. Her boyfriend, Herman Aguilera, and the father of Fernando, was a mechanic and a limo driver, and he was the one who actually called for Evelyn and Alex missing. He was not the father of Alex. From everything that I read, Alex's father was not in the picture. Now, Herman reported Evelyn and Alex missing to the San Francisco Police Department. They conducted a welfare check of Evelyn's home to find nobody there. Although what they did find when they did enter the house was that passports were there, passports, excuse me, not the ID cards, and no wallet or purse was discovered. So what their speculation is that she just went off on a trip or went on a day trip with her son. That was the speculation. 23 days later, on May 30th, Evelyn's wallet was found and brought to the San Francisco Police Department. Now, the person who brought it in did not want to be named. They wanted to be anonymous. And they found the wallet near South Linden Ave and North Canal Street in South San Francisco. And I'll post a picture on the Instagram of where this wallet was found, or the proximity of where this wallet was found. Now, ironically, it was found 2 blocks away from Herman's job at the limo service. After a search of the wallet, SFPD discovered that all items were in place and nothing seemed out of the ordinary, and what led them to think that this was a legitimate missing persons case is because she had disability checks be sent to her. She had 2 of them that were not cashed.
Jeez. And she had disability checks and she worked? She was pregnant, so she was on disability. Okay, got it.
Right. SFPD then transferred this case from missing persons to homicide. Now, it doesn't specifically state as to why they thought it was a homicide, but I'm sure what do they call it? The
Forensics.
no, it's a type of evidence. Situational evidence. I'm not good. And what's funny is I went to college, quote unquote, for criminal justice, and I can't even think of the word that I'm thinking of.
Dumbass.
Thank you. No news reports blew up this case like it did with Lacey Peterson. Now, if you know anything about the Lacey Peterson case, almost immediately her case was statewide to nationwide to worldwide in less than a month. Like it blew up so fast. 45
Wow.
days. Yeah. 45 days. We're still not even done yet. 45 days.
No, I'm just saying, wow, this kind of like that I'm gonna mispronounce the words. The what's really big right now. Systemic
Systemic racism.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
See,
still
I
don't know
can't
what that. Yeah, and I don't even know what that. I hear it, but I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Racist against people that are not of white descent. Lacey Peterson, they're more white.
Oh yeah,
This
like
chick was as a
they're more no
illegal.
Yeah, there
There's
you go.
more notoriety because of who she was.
Right.
Typically,
Well,
the color of her skin.
yeah, and it also didn't help that. I mean, I guess it did help because they found out who killed her and so on and so forth. That she knew people who were in the public eye, like she had I think a city councilman,
All right.
stuff like that. So I mean, that obviously would help, but the fact that it blew up and the end at towards the end of the story, you'll hear the
Okay.
systemic racism.
All right. I'll shut up.
The SF Examiner printed its first story of Evelyn and Alex on June 12th, 2002 on page 6A. It's now June. It's 45 days that she's been missing, and this is the first
Bit
notoriety
of
of it
evidence. Yeah. Oh, on the news.
on the news. 45 days.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I thought you meant since they found the wallet. Okay. So it wasn't even on any
No media,
broadcasting.
no nothing. And this is 2002, so Facebook and all this other stuff was just starting to come up.
Nah, you guys are MySpace.
MySpace, exactly. Yeah. SFPD, the detective for the San Francisco Police Department, Holly Pereira, said this, and Pereira obviously is a Latin last name, so she clearly felt this. Quote, "It's embarrassing. We've pushed to have some type of coverage, but we don't make the decision of what is and isn't covered." End quote.
Yeah, at its finest.
Right?
Right.
Now,
That's unfortunate.
that was one of the last things that anybody talked about. Now we're in July, specifically July 24th. This is 2 months and 2 days later since Evelyn has been missing. While walking the Rican Park near the Bay Bridge, an unknown person discovered a gruesome sight. Now, for those who don't know what Rican Park is, it's the Embarcadero of San Francisco. If you happen to Google Embarcadero, you'll see a picture of a huge arrow statue that's right next to the Bay Bridge. It's a ridiculous statue, to be honest, and they spent like billions of dollars worth on it. But anyways, that's where someone had found the lower half of a body floating in the bay. What they found was a badly decomposed pair of legs and half of a torso. The head, hands, feet, and full-term baby were all missing.
Damn. Okay.
Next to the body, or they say wrapped, partially wrapped around the body, was a pair of maternity clothing. Because of the because the decomp was so bad, it was undetermined if the infant was removed prior or post death. They don't know if it was a C-section, a natural birth, or something called a coffin birth. And I had to Google what coffin birth is, and that is a baby stays within the embryo sac and is forced out of the womb from the body's natural gases being released after death, and that was per livescience.com.
So it floated out of her.
That's one of the three speculations. Either it was cut out, she gave natural birth, or if it was pushed out of her by natural dead gases.
Mm.
Comparing the DNA to a toothbrush found in Evelyn's home, the body was determined to be Evelyn Hernandez. SFPD confirmed this. Oh, I'm rereading what I just said. It is
Next
speculated.
line.
Yeah, it is speculated that the family of the San Francisco. It is speculated by family and the San Francisco Police Department that Evelyn was in fact murdered. Alex and the unborn child have never been found, and it is undetermined how long Evelyn was in the bay for. Now, very similar to Lacey Peterson, they found her with, and here's the other crazy part: everything lines up the same. She didn't have a head, Evelyn. She didn't have hands. She didn't have feet. And she didn't have fucking arms. Lacey Peterson didn't have a head, didn't have arms, didn't have feet. Do we have a serial killer on our hands?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That is speculation through most of the Bay Area news sites, speculation from other podcasts, but not a whole lot of people know. I don't even know.
Yeah, but they discovered the bodies. If you ever get a chance to Google where they found Lacey Peterson, she was washed up ashore, and the place
She was in Berkeley, right?
Yeah, right off Gilman. There's like a little market, like a little deli.
Yeah.
Right behind that, there's a dog park. I mean, this was back then. It was just a field
That's
before we
18
moved
years
to
ago.
Arizona. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about before we moved to Arizona in '99. When we moved to Arizona, it was nothing out there. It was still raw. It was still really, there was no development.
Really?
Yeah. There was a restaurant out there called Charlie Brown's. There was a restaurant out there called
Actually, I think Charlie Brown's is still out there. I think I picked a few people up when I did Uber.
Yeah. No. The Chevys. That's where Chevy's is at.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're
in
talking
that area. So she washed up too.
Oh, she washed up over there?
Yeah.
No
Literally.
way.
Yeah, she was across the way from the ski the water skiing school or whatever that place is.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Cal Berkeley practices their crew.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Damn.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. So that was Evelyn Hernandez. Now let's talk about her boyfriend, Herman Aguilar.
Was he Salvadorian?
He was Mexican.
Oh.
Herbert was 36 years old at the time of the disappearance, and the pair had dated for about 5 years. Prior to her disappearance, Herbert was married. Now, according to reports, Herbert got a little upset when he found out that Evelyn was pregnant.
Yeah,
now, it doesn't
I'm sure he did.
I'm positive he did, but it doesn't say how long him and his wife were married for. It just says that he was married. And the other crazy part is the wife knew about Evelyn.
So she just let the relationship happen?
She let it swing left and right, apparently.
Well, unfortunately, it usually happens.
So
in that culture.
That's what ended up happening. And again, she is so he's about 12 years older than she is at this time. She was 24, he was 36.
Did he have other kids?
Doesn't say. or
So
at least I
there's not
didn't read.
not much of a background on the guy.
Not very much, other than the fact that he was a mechanic in the Air Force and a limo driver.
Oh, wait, he's not. He's a citizen.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought he was from
Oh, like
Mexico and undocumented.
no,
So,
no.
so he was in the Air Force. He was an American citizen.
Yeah, he had said that he was a mechanic on Air Force planes, or at least that's what I read.
Or maybe he just worked on the base as a civilian. Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
just curious about this dude's background. So he's no longer in the picture. They find the baby, or they find the body, and then they no longer can find him and the other child.
So obviously, like any spouse, when someone goes missing, kind of like, and I don't know if you've seen it or not, but the whole Chris Watts thing that happened over
Yeah.
in Colorado,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the spouse is the primary suspect.
Yeah.
And according to the end of that Chris Watts documentary, which if no one's seen, it's really, really good. I highly suggest you check it out. It's no commentary like this. It's strictly body cam,
Footage.
interrogation camera. Yeah, everything like that. Really, really good. Anyways, they say that the majority of these cases are looked towards the male spouse of the relationship. So with this case in particular with Evelyn, obviously he's going to be prime suspect number one. They're going to investigate, they're going to interrogate, they're going to ask questions and do all this other stuff. However, Herbert had an alibi, his wife, right? Herbert's alibi told police that he had spent the entire day at work and then spent the rest of the evening with her at home. Now, actually, this did line up, but a lot of shit can happen in 8 to 10 hours in a working day.
Mm.
And seeing as this dude's already lying to his wife about where he's been, with another woman, or lying, who's to say that he wasn't lying and went to go kill her?
Or she had something to do with it.
Or no, I didn't even think about that. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Now, according to reports, Herbert was questioned, like I said, and he cooperated with the police, but was never arrested and was never detained. September 2002. This is now, what is that? 5 months?
1 month. Yeah.
5
from
months?
July. Yeah.
From May. Right? About 5-6
Four.
months.
4 or 5, depends on how you want to count it. But yeah.
Well, I'm using, smart math.
1 plus 1 plus
5.
1. Hey, Dad, what is that? 1 plus
21.
Oh my God.
So September 2002. Now, like I said, he was cooperating. He was questioned. He was giving information. And then out of the blue, he lawyers up. And since 2002 of September, he has not spoken to police. He has not spoken to media outlets. He has not spoken to anybody about this case publicly or on record.
So he's still free?
He is free man walking around.
Damn, I was expecting you to tell me that he's been isolated and so the other little kid is gone too.
Alex, the son?
The stepson or whatever. That's not his kid, but
That's not his kid. Her
Evelyn's
son,
kid.
Alex, the one that she picked up from school.
So is there speculation that he killed her? Oh, so it's not.
It's
final.
Everything's open. Nothing's been solved. Shortly after hiring attorney Robert Tayak, Herman released a statement saying, quote, "I'm deeply saddened by the death of my close friend." And that was the last time that he said anything about this case.
That's it.
That's it.
And he's still living in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So he was, you said, 36.
Well, as far as everything that I found, yes, he's still living in the Bay Area. But if he's still here today, in 2020, I have no idea.
And there's no follow up. They're not reinvestigating nothing. It's just, it is what it is because they found her torso.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay. Well, see, you got to tell me to shut up then.
Well, people like this part because you go and go and go, and then I'm like, well,
Froze
hold
it.
on now.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
Now, this is the coverage of the case, okay? April 2003, a year later, damn near a year to. There's a spider on my goddamn microphone. Oh my God. Where the hell did that come from?
Inside the microphone.
Yeah, my mouth is right next to it.
Yeah.
A year to
Like he didn't
date.
swallow it.
Yeah, no, seriously. A year to date. Now, news of Lacey Peterson was everywhere. Everywhere. Major news stations, newspapers.
Oh, shit.
Again,
I
the
forgot she was
internet.
even part of this conversation.
Yeah, she was totally a part of this conversation.
Yeah.
Now, like I
Go
said,
ahead.
she is everywhere, nationwide, statewide, worldwide. A friend of Evelyn said to the San Francisco Chronicle, a local newspaper, this girl, Lacey, she's white, they have money, and is a family behind and has her family behind her. Who cares about Evelyn? The first time I heard about Lacey's case, I got flashbacks to Evelyn because it's the same case. It's very hard to see why one gets more attention than the other. End quote. Nearly 900 people.
Who said that?
That was her friend. They didn't specify as to who, but a friend of Evelyn Hernandez said that quote. Nearly 900 people, both civilian and professional, assisted in finding Lacey Peterson. 900 people, almost there were 100 shy of 1,000. There wasn't even a quarter of that amount of people looking for Evelyn. A quarter of that. And I'm terrible at math. I'm not even going to try it. SF Chronicle
175.
175. There you go. 175
Roughly.
people for a city that has, I don't know, 250,000 people in it. 500,000 people in it. San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah, probably more than that. Yeah. Just in San Francisco County.
Just San Francisco alone, right?
Not the South Bay. Yeah.
Now, the San Francisco Chronicle, the newspaper, like I said before, ran 32 stories. This is just the Chronicle. This is not Chron 4, a local news station, KTVU, another news station. None of the local, I mean, some of them, yes, but not all of them, ran these stories. Specifically, the Chronicle ran, SF Chronicle, I'm going to keep saying that, San Francisco Chronicle, 32 stories on Lacey Peterson alone, 4 of which were front page headliners. Lacey Peterson lived in Modesto. It's 92 miles away from San Francisco, and she made the front page 4 times. The Chronicle, the San Francisco Chronicle, ran only 4 stories on Evelyn Hernandez. She lived in San Francisco.
They found her in San Francisco.
No,
the dude lived in San Francisco.
They both lived in San Francisco.
No. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying as far as the case, once they identified her remains, she was found in San Francisco. My point is it was a local story that neither the Chronicle or the Examiner.
Examiner, that's the other one. Yep.
Did a story on.
4 stories on a person who's locally living in San Francisco. 32 of a person who lives east, 92 miles east of almost 100 miles out, away inland.
Yeah.
And you got put on and like I said, this is just the Chronicle. San Francisco. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm going to say Modesto has her own newspaper.
They got the Modesto Bee. The Modesto Bee put so much out on her. And again,
Of course.
I'm not even like getting into that whole story. That's a whole different story. And that's why I put it on Instagram recently is there was if no one saw, if you go to Botox with Big Jim podcast on Instagram, we had a poll going on of people who, well, first off, uh a choice of which episode you would want to hear, either the story of Evelyn Hernandez or Cursed Films. And then I saw that Chris Watts documentary, and then I kept hearing about drinking the Kool-Aid Patreon podcast where they're talking about Lacey Peterson, and it got me thinking again. I was like, okay. And the results that I got for the next episode, this one specifically, whether it was going to be Evelyn Hernandez or the Cursed Films, I got a poll of, I don't know exact percentage, but basically 80, I'd say 85-90% of the people wanted to know about Cursed Films. I mean, it makes sense. We're in the spooky season. We're in Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween. 4 people voted about the Evelyn Hernandez film, one of which said no,
No.
that they didn't want to hear about it.
No, I know. I was like, no, it's not interesting.
Right. Because no one knows about her.
Oh, I didn't know about her. I'm trying to figure out if I even heard a bit of the story.
Not a lot
I
of
don't
people
even-
have. And honestly, I don't remember where I heard this from, but I know I've heard it on several podcasts. I want to say, honestly, I think where I may have heard it from originally was last podcast on the left. And that might be incorrect too, because that wasn't Lacey Peterson. They were talking about Casey Anthony. Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyways, I've known about this case for a very, very, very long time, and it's always stuck with me. And I'm like, I'm still, why doesn't anyone know about this case? But everyone knows about fucking Lacey Peterson.
She's part of, at this point, she's part of pop culture now.
She is, and it's messed
Lacey
up.
Peterson. She'll be
So
in the.
The more I think that we talk about Evelyn Hernandez, and I think the more that we bring her up, is we can maybe get her case solved, hopefully.
Reinvestigate. How do you know they're not reinvestigating it?
Because San Francisco investigators maintain that the cases are not connected, and that Alex is still missing to this day, and that no national news coverage has been done. There's been no Amber Alerts for this little boy. He was 5 at the time. He would have been 23 years old today, and the fetus of Fernando, the unborn child, would have been 18 years old today, or in today's year.
So Alex wasn't putting on a milk carton. There was
Nothing.
no
Nothing.
Poor kid.
Fucked up.
So he could be out. He could be gone. He
He
could have
could-
been gone.
He could be alive. He could have escaped or whatever and ran off. By the way, that's some of the other speculation too. That was like one of the first things that investigators thought, it was that she took Alex and ran back to El Salvador to live her life out there.
Sure.
Which makes sense. That does make sense. But she was building
Sure.
a life out here.
Right.
So
Or he, if that dude had something to do with him missing, which I'm sure he does, that's just foul.
it's fucked
And
up.
have you looked up this guy's name again?
Not since I researched it. It's been a couple weeks. But
Wow.
I will post a picture of everything of Evelyn Hernandez, Alex, the area of which the proximity of where her wallet was found, the proximity of where her body was found by the Embarcadero, and a couple of news clippings on our Instagram page.
Now, do you know if they have one of those advanced composites of Alex, like, make him look an older type thing?
I have not seen any. And every time I pull up Evelyn Hernandez, there's literally, like, if you go on Google right now, you'll maybe find 6 stories, maybe 7, and then a few other podcasts that have covered her information on their blog. But that's it. And then it goes into Evelyn Hernandez 5, 6, 7 times, Lacey Peterson, and it just ties in like that. and then people see Lacey Pearson and it's, oh, let's go click on that because
Yeah.
I know that name.
That's yeah. Well, make sure you blast Evelyn Hernandez on
Oh, yeah.
the on the Flow page.
Absolutely. Oh, that's the other thing that yeah. So that was the story of Evelyn Hernandez, ladies and gentlemen, and Big Jim.
Okay, so in 02, and I know this is way out of left field, but do they think it's connected to the Golden State serial killer?
I have no idea. Nothing that I read was even remotely close to him.
Wow. But there were pretty similar crime results. Torso.
Yes.
Okay. Damn, dude. No, it's
Fucked up
kind of a
story,
shitty.
right?
Yeah. Kind of shitty.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Botox with Big Jim podcast. Please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Please go, if you go right now to our Flow page, that's Flow, FLOW.page, PAGE/BTBJ. You can go and buy us a beer. We'll give you a shout out on here next time. And
I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm
And
parched.
it costs anywhere between $2 to $4, so it's not a huge dent in your wallet. If you buy us one, like I said, we'll give you a shout out, and we prefer if you're able to. Not prefer, but we will definitely buy from local breweries and or local shops and give them shout outs as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, please don't forget to
Much better beer anyway.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everything is going to be in the description box below. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Big Jim, do you have any final words?
No, I'm just a little surprised that again, another case. The Gypsy Hill murder, the
Doodler.
the Doodler, all that stuff. But again, like I said, there's a lot of stuff tied to the Bay Area. A lot of legends, folklore, urban legends. So yeah, I'm just interested in looking and reading. But if there's only minimal exposure on stuff, I'd imagine you've already covered it for Evelyn Hernandez.
Yeah.
But it just sucks. It's a sucky story, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to put your mood
Yeah,
down.
I can't even.
Early
I can't even go drink. Speaking of drinking,
yeah,
make sure you guys check out a couple of the past episodes we've had.
yes.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, that's coming out next week.
Yep. Speakeasy podcast for a lot of his UFC commentator. He's a sharp kid.
Real sharp. He's a great guy.
knows-
Easy. If you're listening, dude, keep up the fucking great work, man, because you are
Yeah. He's very knowledgeable. Like I said, he's sharp. He knows what he's talking about. Semi-stupid. I can't say enough about that dude.
David Brubaker. Thank you, man.
And he's definitely open for suggestions. That's
100%.
one thing. That's one thing he said.
100%.
If you can give a recommendation, semi-stupid. David
Yeah, big shout
Brubaker.
outs to everyone who's been on. Saf from Tiger King.
Saf, obviously she is who she is.
Mike.
Much props to her.
Mike. Biotech voice technician. Fucking savage, dude. I still can't believe he does that.
Everybody we've interviewed definitely is interesting. Leno, 714.
Yep.
Very creative individual.
Very.
Very.
Maggie, got to give a shout out to one of our biggest guests so far.
Yeah.
Former phone sex operator. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks to all the people who've come on. Just we continue to bring you more stories, and we hope we continue to get more followers. So
hopefully.
Thank you to everybody. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Adios.
Peace.
Late.